I'm Sylvia. I have a farm in Haiku, a 9.5-acre forest, and with Mama Farm and Center. Okay. And working to get the permits to put all of this together, basically everything that I've been doing and want to do with the youth. I love working with the youth, it's my passion. The youth rock. And I work with children and I work with college-age youth is who I refer to when I speak of youth. The reason I think they rock is because they are working to find their way in the world. They have a great inquiry about the world right now. They get a lot of information from the internet. They share it. And it's troubling information. It is about our environment, global peace, the economy, political, financial. They talk about it. And standing to this and trying to figure out what to do about it and about their lives really takes courage and determination. But I don't think that most of them know that they rock. And that's because what I have personally noticed is many of them basically borderline depressed, having all this information and not really knowing what to do about it. It's enough for them to know the state of the things, the state of the earth, the state of this island, and the challenges we have here. Not having the solutions means they feel they have no control. They feel helpless, and it's pretty hard to know that you rock when you're feeling helpless. So there are solutions, is the main point, is the first thing I try to tell them. Give them a hug and tell them there are solutions. And it's our job to give them that. Unity and going local are two key things that really seem to make a difference for them. Upcoming is a video from Forrest, a young man who came to live and work with us years ago, and he came back to help the other youth with the film that they made. I'm going to let him speak about going local.
Buying local and how important it is just to buy local and support the people. And just watching where your money goes. If you can spend $1 and you can see where that dollar goes fully until its end, or to a complete circle or wherever it goes, you can track where that money goes. That's awesome because you're seeing where that power goes and where all that power gets passed into whose hands. You want to make sure it's always in good hands, So when you're passing on those dollars, even if you have a whole bunch of dollars, don't think like, oh, these are worthless, I can spend, because that's still power that you're just passing out to people. And if it gets in bad hands, then you get into situations like we're in now, like Monsanto and other big corporations that just rape the land, basically, don't really care that it's more dollars. So as long as you can spend your money without going into any of those people's hands, then I think the future will be really good, really quick. And I don't think we'll have to, a lot of people are spending a lot of time and energy on trying to figure out what the problems are and how to get these people to change and stuff. And it really comes down to the dollar, like supporting them financially. If you take that down, then it's like they're just over it. They'll be trying to come up with ways to where we like them again, And so I think everybody should really, really just focus on where their dollars go mainly, and then the nature and the rest of the world can thrive. Really, that's that.
Building community, one individual at a time. That's our focus. Malama Farm and Center is a nonprofit organization that I set up years ago, in 2007, and we've been ramping up to where we can actually build and host this community. We need permits still yet to come to do this. Building the individual. First off, I work to help them figure out what their passions are if they don't already know them, and support them in that when they do. empower them to connect with themselves, their own heart, with nature, and with each other. Building relationships with all of those things, ourselves, nature, and each other. It's about relationship. When they feel connected, they have hope. This is a time where I feel that the concept of independence has turned into isolation for many people in this country. How do you reach a kid? You do whatever it takes.
Green leaf.
Relationship, the concept of staying together, one way or another. The value in having longevity in that. That's the way we build our village and keep it growing for the rest of our lives. As I try to help the youth to accepting the support does not take from their independence. In fact, it does serve to guarantee it. Their brain is still developing until they're 25. This notion that they're ready to be adults and go into the world on their own at 18 is a modern concept. In this country, I feel the diagnosis of disorders has run rampant. I call them symptoms of brilliance. If we can just focus on who they are, what they have to offer, and find a way to help them integrate, offer their ideas, they're very useful. And not all of them have the organizational skills or the inner clocks well developed that help them do the things that they need to get done, even on a daily basis. Indigenous cultures, and many other cultures in the world still, they do offer the level of support that they're brought up in until they are 25. They kind of knew about the brain developing, I think, before scientists figured that out. Age 18, again, is a modern day concept. It doesn't really work. For everyone, at least. So it's okay for them to accept prompting. It doesn't take from them at all. So skills that we like to pass on, and it starts with communication. How we communicate all of this with them. Positive communication skills, positive wording, positive thoughts, dropping off judgment. They're not into judgment until they learn that. But some of them do come with that and do want to drop it off. And it's all about practicing. Honoring, learning to overcome our differences. It's a pretty key topic, I think, in our country right now. How do we do that? How do they work through their differences and still regard each other as family, as ohana, as part of their village? And the methods that we approach them with is, again, the communication, connecting from the heart, working to understand each other. It is work, sometimes. And sometimes all that's left is honoring. In fact, most often, that's all that's left, because we can't ever really hope to understand each other completely. We have different experiences, different genetics, a lot of different things. But honoring is such a freeing attribute. And then nurturing their relationships with attention, building them to last into their future, so they always have a lot of somebodies trailing along with them. These are just pictures of youth working together. This is in California. I spent a year there with my son, who's a senior in high school, and the YMCA gave us garden space, and I worked with 13 kids, and they became youth urban farmers. We took them all the way through a business, teaching a business. They developed their CSA service with fruit that they grew here and in people's yards. These are just going to be other pictures of working together. Hard work. So this is a new farming method. Piggyback. These are the children from a root school in Haiku a few years ago. also working together. Here, basically, the way we tell them is you either all stand under that banana tree or you all run. But you do it together. This is the older youth, college age. They planted those 2 banana trees, little guys, right now. They're very tall, and there's 7 of them. Finding a way to work together, get the job done. They're happy doing it. Eating together, living together. We offer them community to come and do all these things and to stay there and basically have internship. So the idea is no matter where they go, how far into the future, they always have each other. They've learned how to work with each other and live with each other, and all they need to do is call on each other for the rest of their lives. Any venture they ever dream of, 10, 20 years from now, they can always look back and call upon the people to help build their business, build a barn, whatever it is they want to build, just by reconnecting. That's the bottom line for them. Independence need not be achieved alone. Growing food, we all know how true this is. We've kind of come away from it, especially other parts of our country, but it does need to be part of our everyday life and part of the culture. This is on our farm haiku. It's this guy right here. I don't. Roots School, again, that's planting the bananas. Business and finance, I think, is something really important for them. Everybody has skills that they can market, and knowing how to market that, knowing how to put it into a business sense, cutting out the middle person, other than those that will help. We've got people that are good at building websites, making marketing materials, setting up business licenses, all of these things. If they could just know how to work in their passions, excelling is automatic. Being competitive is not an issue at that point, so they don't have the pressure or the stress, they just are. Great. Basic life skills, opening accounts, credit unions, a local solution, applying for loans, preparing tax returns. I had a college-age youth just 2 weeks ago ask me to add this into our curriculum. Sewing, cooking, basic things, whatever it is they don't know and we can offer, it's there for them. Wellness skills, yoga, meditation, nutrition, exercise, rest, building habit, and changing habit. Those last 2 are things I think that are some of the hardest for humans to do. And so we presented meditation to them. And it worked. They liked it. We did it every time that we would plant. After we were done working in the garden or the farm, we meditate somewhere. And the yoga. I knew it was working when this gentleman here on the green mat moaned really loudly. And I thought he was in pain, but he was in relief. He says, every day, back pain, and in 10 minutes I got rid of it. So it's about community, sharing space as family, team building, communicating individually, in a group, listening. Here we were playing tug of war with a 50-foot tall rose apple tree. The tree won. Wow. But we were happy after that. More community issues, community attributes, honoring the sacred. We're just starting up a grandfather's council to help address the youth's questions on whatever level. Council is always there in Indigenous setting. We want to provide that for them. Teaching them property management, community management, so they can go on and organize their own communities if that's something they'd like to do in the villages. Giving back to community always makes everybody feel good, I think. So New Village leadership, we are calling this the New Village. New Village social media, which is basically conscious social media. These kids wanted to give back. This was at a neighbor's place. He needed help cleaning up that grass. This is older youth. We brought a jungle gym from Kihei to Haiku for the children, and it literally was over the river and through the woods. It was hard work. I wanted to show all these pictures because the looks on their faces at times are just really precious. Oops. That one on the left is killing them, but it's for the children. Exhaustion. Their mission was more than just bringing a jungle gym. You'll see in just a bit. But there it is, set up around their fire pit. That's the meeting area we have. And more about the community, just helping them be conscious. They don't learn that, I found out, until their 20s, basically, when the part of the brain really helps them learn how to reach out and give back. So we help them do that, because it always makes them happy. Creating forums, because they do want to create forums. They do want to come up with solutions, especially environmental solutions, and so filmmaking is a big part of what we do. We like to teach everybody filmmaking, and Akaku, Kat Tracy, have been a part of that filmmaking, I feel, and it shows. It gives them a voice, provides an arena, opens channels, and clear the path for them to speak. So this is in California. This is the youth group I was working with, and we're at a farmer's market. And we rented a 12-person van, took 10 kids to the farmer's market. 7 of them had never been to a farmer's market. And here they were interviewing this vendor. So the cycle here, sharing their voice and being heard, really is very empowering for them. And it serves to empower others who are then inspired to share their voices, their empowered voices, and it grows. This is we had a youth summit for younger children to speak. We set this up on our farm. ChildrenHealingTheEarth.org is another, it's a part of the nonprofit foundation that we have. And it is about supporting the children, clearing the path for them to do the work that they've come here to do. It was a happy day. I was not there. I provided, we got them set up, and then I left. Just let them do their thing in their own space. So that's Carl. He went through the Akaku film making and editing courses, 2 filmmaking and an editing course. And that's Christopher again. We do have this film on our Facebook page, Children Healing the Earth, and our website, childrenhealingtheearth.org. It's a happy day. Okay, I think this is a video, the last one. I'm going to let it end with the children.
Okay, yeah. My biggest concern for people would be that everybody is being one man for themselves, not everybody coming together as a whole. Because if everybody's one man for themselves, we're starting to fall apart when really we should be coming together.
Yes. Yeah, the last one was the right.
I believe that non-organic food should be banned forever and should never be used again.
My biggest concern about people is that we're not trying to help anything. We just take what we think is ours, but really it's not. I think that we can change that. I would like to see the world change for the better. I would like to see no pollution, every animal species at its correct rate, every thing living in perfect harmony.
Okay, they're good. My biggest concern for our world in general would be, once again, us coming together as a whole, because everybody's being one man for themselves. If we came as a whole, it would be easier for everybody else, because it sets a good example for our community, our world, our things. It's us that change the world.
Thank you.
Hello.